What's on today's menu? The usual suspects. I'm most comfortable with flying these guys. Well, good morning. It's just sunrise, March 2nd, year of our Lord 2026. I am going to give this thing away. Oh yeah, it looks lovely. And in a weird kind of way it is, and I'll talk about why I hate it. What it did was it turned me into not being a first adopter of anything Horizon Hobby. The particular piece of misery, difficult to fly. But back to what's doing. I've been home 112 days, and I have 13 days until we leave. Coming out! And it's getting to be crunch time. And of course, all your friends who go, oh man, you're home for 4 months, we got this, and taking off. And it'll all be good. No. Most of my friends are still working, and you only have weekends. And as such, that makes it particularly difficult to link up. So now we're jamming it in. The other day I had my friend Diane back for the weekend, or for a few days, spending the night. There we go, nice thumbnail out of that one. Yeah, and what that does is this, that kind of puts us off from doing what we need to be doing. However, what we'll do is we'll issue a prohibition here in the coming days that we're done. My son and his wife will be up for my 40th wedding anniversary. That'll be next Sunday. I tried to get my wife to marry me on my birthday, which is March 1st. I turned 62 the other day. Hashtag I will be getting my first Social Security check April 8th. Yeah, I took it early. The way it works is if you've been in law enforcement, you're emotionally spun up and spun down about 10,000 times a day. Actually, it's what everybody goes through, but just a little bit worse in law enforcement. You're emotionally spun up and spun down, and they expect you to die about 8 years after you retire. I have been retired 2,990 something days. I will celebrate on that 3,000th day, which will be 8 years. Actually, I'm 8 years retired now. The 3,000th day will mark just a little bit above 8 years. Yeah, I believe I'm retired 8 years, like just the other day. Had a perfectly sublime day yesterday. I just took it easy at my house. There were no celebrations. Yeah, not much for, it used to be any opportunity for a party, but now I'm old and I'm not interested in such frivolity and jocularity, and yeah, it would embarrass me. But yeah, so that's what's doing. I've had successful tests with my racing edition goggles that I bought from an American supplier. If you'll remember, the Chinese supplier sent me a bad set, and he cried and cried and cried and said it happened in shipping. And to be the better guy, and he had a bunch of them, by the way. To be the better guy, what I did was I gave him a bad review. He was terrible at contacting me, and he complained that he was on vacation, and I think he was just trying to clock out the 14 days for returns. So he ended up having to take it back anyway because I filed a dispute with eBay. Gosh, eBay is a buyer's centric market. Do I hear? Eric right now? I think I might. Let's see. Yeah.
1 minute.
But yeah, that's all that's worth knowing, at this very moment with 1 minute left. Celebrated 62 years on the planet yesterday. I'll be celebrating 40 years of marriage on the 8th. My son's coming up and his wife and their dogs, and we're just going to hang out at the house by the pool. Spring is springing here in Florida. It's 80 something degrees in the coming days in freedom units. I see Eric's always playing loud music because he's a gangster. And yeah, I'm going to give him that convergence, and you'll learn more about the hows and whys of that in a minute. Yeah, he cried last night, by the way. He's like, it's going to be blowing out here. It's windy right now. It's going to be blowing tomorrow. I'm like, well, don't come.
6, 5,
Maniac.
4, 3, 2, 1.
But my
Timer 1 elapsed.
my weatherman says landing,
Throttle.
coming out. My weatherman says different, and I was right. Hey, I'll be back in a bit. See you. Independent of here, so what I'll do is fly for a bit, and then I got to go get teeth cleaned and all kinds of other dumb stuff. I got to pick up. I actually had to have my jewelry sized for my ring.
From the weight you lost? Yep.
All right, coming out, back out here. So yeah, the convergence. I made the mistake of buying that thing many, many years ago. Taking off. And I say it was a mistake. What ended up happening was that I put that thing on lower rates. There we go. Yeah, here's how it works. The convergence is just that. It converts from hover to airplane. And what ended up happening was when you transitioned from hover to airplane, you got to keep your fingers off the sticks. Well, so if you don't, it'll crash. And they don't tell you that in the book. They just tell you to keep your fingers off the sticks. And then we all kind of figured out later on that, yeah, that's how that works. Well, that is terrible low rates. Let's go back to middle. So yeah, what ended up happening was the one time I go to fly it, and that's actually not true. It's been a couple of times, maybe 2 or 3 actually, but we'll say one time I go to fly it and I don't transition quick enough, and keep my fingers off as it transitions, and it just drills it right into the ground. So what I ended up doing was flying at FPV only for about 100 flights. Well, that thing's been hanging up in my stash for I don't know how long, years. And yeah, so it needed to go. My least favorite aircraft. Now, my previous one was the Seawind by, I forget. It's that one terrible company that everybody hates, but Captain Crunch loves. Dynam. Then the other one was that convergence. Is neat because I was flying out there on the lake and I got too low and I crashed it in the water, and it just, soaked it, submerged one of the Mobius cameras, just submerged it. It took minutes to go over there and get it. Dried everything out, everything flew again. That was crazy. Absolute insanity. But it's just hanging in there, and I'm not, even though I got the DJI racing goggles, I'm just not that into FPV anymore unless you're a rotor wing. I kind of flew everything I had via FPV, just about. Yeah, it's on my channel, my other channel, the Brian B channel. So that's Eric's now. I asked him about it the other day. I said, hey, when's the last time you flew your convergence? He said, oh, I murdered that thing a long time ago. And I said, uh-huh. Yeah, I got to get rid of stuff I'm not flying. I'm not a collector. Not that there's anything wrong with collecting. It's just not my nature. I collect stories and personalities. But I don't collect stuff. I say that. I got more radio control stuff. But it hadn't spilled out of my home office yet, so, or my hobby room, my man cave. Shout outs, Rowdies, Captain Crunch, Con. Oh my God, you're one of those rare women that just get more beautiful the older you get, like my wife. Cynthia, Gretchen, Cassie, Gail, Kim. Kim is Con's BFF. Is that what I understand? Beautiful girl. I woke up this morning to get a recorded voice message from Virginia Bareback Boy and his wife singing me happy birthday. Gosh, that is so nice. How nice. Shout outs. Their puppy's getting old. Madison is old, deaf, and blind, I think, now. McMoyer, sand crab. Who else? And all the new people on the forums. Yeah, I tested my my Flywoo. It has terrible video on my new goggles, but the Mobula 7 is lovely, and they're both flyable. Yeah, my mission is to be able to just bring one goggle on the road, and what had happened was I think Virginia Bareback Boy, and I know I think, but I know for sure somebody gave me a set of goggles, which was Anthony. And what's happened is I'm they're so old and I'm so old, they start, you know, these rubberized surfaces start getting sticky. Landing, and they're just failing. So what I'm doing is trying to get a better set of 5.8s rather than, yeah, I don't want to go to HD. I don't fly enough FPV for it to be worth it $1,000. Landing, which is not me. Clear. So yeah. All right, back in a few. Starting to get busy today. Let's go up real quick before the air gets busy. I'm gonna probably start taking rotor wings up. Stay out of everybody's way. No worse for the wear, Mr. David. That's perfect. Coming out. Just gonna do a little bit of flying around, and then I'm gonna go, like I said, rotor wing. Taking off. There we go. She's flying straight. What else? Visitors' birthdays. I've been home 112 days. We're out here in 13 days. We're heading towards Europe for a bit. It is funny, the cruise ship will be delivering us to the country of Turkey, formerly Istanbul, but that's if everything's stable.
15.7 volts.
They're actually discussing that as we speak. The cruise line doesn't want to get any of their cruisers injured or killed. Yeah, after this I'll go, I've got to test my ZMR 250 and my new goggles. I'll leave here. I'm going to go pick up my jewelry. Because of the med I take for my diabetes, I've lost 33 pounds 3 years ago and have not gained it back, and I'm continuing on that med. So had to get my ring and my wedding ring size, so I'll pick it up today. I gotta get my teeth cleaned, then I go eat with my work wife. She and I haven't seen each other in about 2 years. We live 6 miles from each other, but we see each other Tundi every day on social media. So it's one of those terrible catch-22s where you kind of see each other every day, but you don't necessarily need to link up.
15.3 volts.
Low pass. Tundi. What else? Celebrating 40 years next Sunday when my son and his wife, she is a high dollar hairstylist, and
15.2 volts.
I'm going to let her have the express joy of cutting my hair when she comes to visit. The funny thing about that is that over Christmas I'd gotten fairly ill with the flu, to the point where I actually had to go to the docs. I started getting dehydrated and needed a very important drug called Zofran, and they won't sell it over the counter here. It drives me insane. Oh, and I spoke with Scott, that San Diego Ute fan, the other day. I thought he had ghosted me, but turns out a bad phone number. So I'm going to call him today when it's appropriate in Utah. He's an early riser like me. And I need to start loading in, so I don't know if today is going to be my last day here, but it may be. I got to load in.
15.1
Yeah, and they're closed tomorrow. I could come back out this week, maybe. I don't know. Our friends at Hobby King are annoying me. They have not sent out my new Hobby King TPX Tundra. So we shall see about that. I did send them a note and they go, yeah, it's coming. They're processing and it's coming.
14.9 volts.
All right, landing. I'll take it. Yeah, I think I told you I put a new part on there that I got from a guy on the web. I actually think 3D printing is amazing. I just don't. I think it's in its infancy yet still. Clear.
15.4 volts. Throttle hold. Throttle hold.
I'm back. We played with our drones. I think. Hold on. I'm back. I think Eric has the Mini 4 Pro or something like that. Anyway, he got his goggles squared away, and man, it turned out really good. Coming out. And as such, he's absolutely enjoying the virtues of FPV. He had a problem previously. Taking off!
12.5 volts.
Maybe.
Throttle active. Throttle active.
He got motion sickness. And I turned him on to these amazing chews. Oh, Lord. My wife uses them. Let's see if I can remember the name of them.
12.1 volts.
Ginger chews. Get them off of Amazon. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Having a coach, Eric, we were flying off of here, not knowing that there is a dedicated drone pad. And the vice president came over and told Eric that it makes club members nervous if you're flying here and that you need to go fly over there. And of course, Eric, he takes it as a slight. And it's just, I don't know that that's that necessary. When you're new to a club or you're what we call in the military an FNG, freaking new guy, you got to play the game. And what I like to do is just kill them with kindness, because my eye is always on the prize, and that's just being able to do what I want to do. And if I have to be tuned up so everybody, because it's all about men have to exert their, actually you're seeing an example of that overseas, men have to exert their authority. And rather than walking over to you and seeing you flying a drone the other day, what they do is they wait, and so they can kind of share with you who's boss. That's normal. And I had to remind Eric that, if we were the, old guys, he and I aren't in the business of embarrassing or subjugating other people, but that's just not normal human behavior. Normal human behavior, men, is that you gotta let everybody know who's boss. So it doesn't bother me. Outlive, outlast, outsmart.
11.4 volts.
And kill them with kindness. Even if you don't care, even if you, kill them with kindness. Because the worst they can say behind your back is, that guy's pretty nice, even though he really isn't a great rule follower.
Volts.
Had something weird happen. I ended up the DJI deal. The application put up a geofence on me here for 240 yards, which is weird, or meters. How spurious. And then my new goggles decided it was a good idea to unbind with my drone. So I had to rebind them. Well, I flew everything I brought. Got to see through Eric's goggles. Oh, they're amazing.
10.8 volts.
We discussed the virtues of the air units. Are about 125 bucks. That could, because he's interested in exploring FPV a bit. Yeah, I told Eric this is the last day out here, and I told the old man too. I said, I'm your
11.1 volts.
I'm your favorite club member. I'm never here. Yeah, I got about 13 or 14 days, 13 days before we leave, and I've got to pack in the rig. So I'm going to go ahead and take much of my gear and pack it in. Low pass.
Volts.
Landing.
11 volts. Throttle hold. Throttle hold.
All right, that's going to do it for me today, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me as always, and see y'all.